touched on Malaysia in the past. We've got even Indonesia developing its capabilities. They're still far off. China is trying to build their English language capabilities. I think it's still about 3 to 5 years away. But we need to start looking at how things are changing in the entire landscape. Second is, we need to be able to respond to such activities, especially around the industrialization of services. Develop the core competencies to support BPAS as well as multi-channel services. You also need to make investments to address this. Now, if you don't, somebody else is going to make those investments. And they're going to take your lunch away from you. And what's also important is, as you move forward, you must be prepared to cannibalize some of these services. So in the sense that, question about automation, should we automate or shouldn't we? I think contact center services has developed and helped the country develop to a certain level. Now it's about, you're at an inflection point. Where do you take this growth to the next level? How do you do that? So you may want to cannibalize some of these services yourself. So put in programs that will help enhance the capabilities of your resources, but also help companies develop automation capabilities to help them move up the value chain. The other aspect of it is around hyper-competition. The industry is going to see more competition coming through. Over the last few months, I've been tracking a number of M&A activities from non-traditional contact center providers. So they're actually coming into the space. One example is marketing services. In the past, there were companies that were looking at design and build aspects of marketing services rather than the run. Today, the BPOs that are playing in the run aspect of it are facing competitions from companies like Sapient Nitro that used to be focused on the design aspect of marketing services and building the solutions for marketing services. Now, Accenture is pretty strong in marketing services. And how do you develop the end-to-end service offering for your clients? So with that, I think you're going to start to see more and more competition coming into this particular environment that we're in, the industry itself. And then the last two things is around emerging markets. I think as you look for new opportunities, don't forget your neighbors, your neighboring environment. There's huge opportunities even in Southeast Asia, South Asia. And I think we will touch on some of these aspects later on in the panel discussion as well. With that, and of course, lastly, the Global Delivery Network. With that, I want to thank you very much, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much to Dr. C.J. Singh, who shared with all of us his research on global industry trends in the contact center industry. Very much for that fighting performance. That's Lapu-Lapu defeating Magellan. Thank you very much. So that was a very comprehensive research presentation from T.J. Singh about what are the opportunities for the contact center industry. There's still so much opportunities out there, so much untapped resources. So now, from global industry trends, we will now shift to the global economic outlook, which will be discussed by our next speaker. He has worked closely with some of the largest companies in business transformation, leveraging on outsourcing, offshoring, and shared services related industries. The United States, India, UK, South Africa, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the UAE have all been part of his work and playground in over 16 years of advisory experience. That's why we have to listen to what he has to say. He's been working in diverse fields: financial services, automotive, telecommunications, and high-tech industry. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to have with us the head of Shared Services and Outsourcing Advisory Practice of KPMG, coming all the way from India. Let us all please welcome Mr. Viral Thakur.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you once again for having me here at the ICCC conference. My topic for this afternoon is an overview of the global economic environment and specifically its impact on offshoring and outsourcing industry. For this session, I will use a number of research initiatives that KPMG has. So not just the inputs from the client engagements that we do, but also a bunch of research that we conduct on an ongoing basis. So I'll refer to that as we go along. I know it's difficult to be interactive here, but I'm sure in the panel discussion we can pick up any questions or comments that you might have. Right? So. Part of what I want to present today is both a combination of the economic outlook, but then very quickly getting into its implications for the industry. So talking a little bit about the economic outlook, we all know the world has gone through quite a bit of turmoil in the last few years. The global economy in general has had challenges with the advanced economies, while at the same time a lot of the emerging markets have continued to grow. Obviously, there is some recent challenge in countries such as India, where the currency has depreciated significantly, and we also hear that China as a market might be slowing down a little, and obviously bear in mind that slowing down is relative. I think there was a report that came out from the National Statistics Bureau yesterday that suggested that the Chinese economy was on track to deliver a 7.5% growth to the GDP. So it still makes it one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Clearly the envy of all. Even though there may have been challenges in the recent past, I think the medium-term view, at least that we have, is that there will be continued growth in the global environment, but not just in the emerging markets, but also in the developed countries. And we'll see in a second why that's important for the offshoring and outsourcing industry. So to build our view of what some of the drivers and challenges are, we'll look at the industry in kind of three separate buckets, or we'll look at the global economy in three separate buckets. One is the developed economies, the high growth economies. Second are the emerging markets, and third we look at the supply side. And why am I grouping supply side differently?